Okie dokie, so weight will go up as fast as it comes back down. Remember when I said yesterday on the 5-month bulking update that I weighed in at 73.85 kilos? Well, today I woke up at 72.35. So that's 1.5 kilos of weight drop in a single day. How the fuck does this happen? Like, I know, like yesterday I felt bloated, right? So I've been stuck between 72 and a half and 73 kilos. And then suddenly it went up all the way and I felt bloated as shit. And today it just came back down. And it's not like I ate less, I just ate my normal food yesterday. I did my normal exercise yesterday. Some shit it's just difficult to control and you have to deal with that. But when it comes to weight, you really don't have to be focused on the number on the scale every day. Yes, you should weigh yourself every day and take note of it, but when it comes to actually seeing if you're gaining weight or not, you can do that on a daily or on a weekly basis. So you take the median of each weigh-in for a week, you take the median value and you compare it to last week and the week before. And if you've dropped weight or maintained your weight in the last 2 to 4 weeks, well, then you are not gaining weight, or vice versa. If you're trying to cut, if it's not going down, you're not losing weight. So in my case, in the last 4 weeks, I've gone from 73.2 kilos as a median value for 1 week to, I think now it's like 72.6 or 7. So I've gone down, right? Ever since doing that run, I've gone down more than half a kilo, or I guess just about half a kilo, right? Which is not good. So I have to gain back the weight, but I will just take this new low point as a reference and try to go up from there. So I'm not really worried about a day-to-day value as long as it's going up gradually on a week-to-week basis, right? So anyway, today we have a pull-up training. I'm gonna do some front lever pull-ups as always, and basically, right, I am currently, even though I'm tired, I'm in very good shape. When when the tiredness will be gone, I know that I'm in very good shape because the last two trainings have been very good. On the last pull day, I did very good front lever holds. So what I want to do today is a bit of a form focused workout to allow my body to recover, because when I recover, I think there might just be a PR on the front lever hold. That's all I'm trying to say, right? I think there is a PR on the horizon there. And basically, right, when it comes to recovery, I always like to focus on form stuff. So when I do pump stuff for my hamstrings and my Nordics as well, I focus on the form. When I do it for the front lever, right, I also just try to make sure that I'm straightening my arms, that I'm doing the pull-ups without too much momentum. And basically, by focusing on the form, you are limiting yourself to basically horse everything with momentum and put strain on the entire body. You're not able to do it as much as you usually would if you just disregard form and try to put out as much power as possible. Both have their uses, but in my case, when you want to kind of control the environment, control your recovery, it's good to do some form training, especially for skills, of course, because the form is important there. So I'm gonna put you guys like this for a moment so that you can view, because we are doing a warm-up set. Let's see how it feels. Feels okay. A bit rusty, but that's the usual these days. So I'm just gonna, yeah, take a few minutes rest and get the workout going. 5 sets of 12 reps, as clean as possible. Perhaps some non-false grip work in between, but I'm just gonna go with the flow. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna increase the difficulty a bit with non-false grip pull-ups, so the range of motion is gonna be bigger. And basically, I'm doing the same volume in pull-ups as last time, but the difficulty is gonna be a bit more or a bit higher, right? And at the same time, I'm gonna try to aim for more form, which is also, I guess, a higher difficulty. So I'm not increasing the volume right now, but I am increasing the difficulty. It's kind of like the same as increasing the weight on your bench in the gym, right? You are progressing. So very nice. Alright. Very difficult to focus on form when the difficulty becomes harder though. Oh, alright. Holy shit. Okay, last sit, and then I want to explain something about this training method. Alright. Okay, so with this training method, sometimes you're not going to be able to get all of the pull-ups you want in one single straight set, right? But that's okay. You can say, it's like set yourself a target. For example, I did 5 sets of 12, but what I have a guy that I'm coaching right now doing is 5 sets of 8 reps, right? And you pick a difficulty appropriate for you, and you might not get 8 reps or something like that, your target reps in a single straight set every time, but when you get tired, just take like 10 to 20 seconds and go again. And by doing that, right, you're gonna build an insane amount of volume and capacity, and your body is gonna adapt to that. So the guy I'm coaching right now, right, he did 5 sets of 8 advanced tuck front lever pull-ups, but he's not able to get all of those in one single go, right? So the first 2 sets he gets 8 reps, and then the third set he got 5 reps, and then he had a bit of a pause, 10 to 20 seconds, and he did 3, and then basically set 4 and 5 he was able to do even less, but you just take your pause in between and you get to 8, and if you need to pause in between 2 times for one set, well, that's okay. Like, for example, you get 4 reps, and then you get 3, and then you get 1. That's 8 in total. That's your target. That's okay, right? But by getting to that volume, right, and aiming to get more and more reps in one single go every time, you're gonna build some serious capacity. So yeah, the guy I'm coaching right now also, he's building good capacity, and it translates into his front lever hold as well. So yeah, that's just one way of training that you can do. Take the volume, have the same volume every time, but try to increase the amount of reps you can do in one single go, without resting in between. It's also like a way of upping the difficulty, right? Because the amount of pull-ups you're doing is the same, but by doing them straight after each other, more and more and more, the difficulty is increasing. So yeah, I think it's a good way to build volume. But anyway, let's go to exercise number 2. Let's keep. Okay, we're moving a bit to the thin bar here. Someone asked why I use the thin bar for the front lever holds and the thick bar for the front lever pull-ups. Basically, when you have a thick bar and you false grip it, the range of motion becomes smaller, so it's easier. But in general, when you're holding the front lever and you don't have a false grip, it's easier to squeeze a thinner bar. So if I have a fat bar, it's kind of like holding a fat grip. It's difficult to really squeeze it, but when you have a thin bar like this, it's easy to squeeze. And squeezing the bar in the front lever and trying to bend it a little bit like this, it's important, right? Because it will allow you to activate your lats, activate your triceps, activate your scapula, all the muscles you need basically. So that's why for me, I prefer doing the front lever holds on a thin bar. Now, the last set of this training is going to be a 50-second hold. Now, unassisted front lever, but I'm going to do the first half at least in the full front lever and then do a bit of a drop set and move back down to a tuck front lever. And this is going to allow me to have a long set, 50 seconds. It's longer than even the goal I want eventually for the full front lever, right? But at the same time, I'm also not using the band assistance. I'm not relying on it. I'm able to get the full front lever in the first half of the set and basically get a good stimulus. And depending on how this goes, I feel like we might be in for a 45-second actual hold on Sunday. So yeah, if I can get 30 seconds relatively comfortably here, it's allowed to, I'm allowed to burn, my muscles are allowed to burn, feel like tense, and it can be difficult. But if I can get 30 seconds here after all my pull-ups, and then 20 seconds on the tuck, at least I'm gonna be very close to a 45-second hold on Sunday. So let's see how this goes. Thirty seconds. Okay, so without fail, when you do these longer front lever hold sets or presses or whatever, you're gonna be fucking pumped as shit. And there is no way around that. Yeah. All right. I mean, it's difficult to describe the front lever pump to someone who doesn't train the front lever, but just train the fucking front lever, guys, then I don't have to explain it. Your triceps, your lats, your upper back, your fucking traps, basically everything that you can ask for in a back pump, and then some, is gonna be achieved by doing some front lever holds. So whether you're training to build muscle, training to get stronger at skills, or both, like me, the front lever is a good idea to implement. And this training, again, very simple. I think it was pretty much the same training as last time, except a little bit harder. So, we did a little bit more difficulty on the pull-ups, even though the volume was the same. I went a little bit longer on the full front lever on the final hold set. And so even though the structure is the same, I did better than last time, which is exactly what you want to be aiming for, You focus on one single exercise, in my case the front lever, and you make that exercise stronger. So if you do the same training, but you're able to go further, from one training to another, that means that you're getting stronger, and that's all that fucking counts. So 30, yeah, let's talk about that. Now I did 30 seconds on the front lever, and it was difficult, don't get me wrong, it was almost my maximum. I think I could have gone like 32 seconds or 35 seconds in total, something like that. And then I would have broken down. But I was able to extend the hold by dropping down, doing a drop set. And the fun thing about calisthenics drop sets is, well, when you're on the bar doing a front lever, you don't have to adjust anything but your fucking legs. You can just pull your legs up, and there you have it. You have a drop set. You can continue. And in total, 50 seconds of hold time, which, like I mentioned, it's more than the 45 seconds I need. And I'm just gonna try my best, the coming days to sleep as much as possible, keep eating the same food, nothing extreme, nothing is gonna change. Basically, recover as good as possible, and then go for the 45-second hold. I mean, if I can get the 45-second hold, I don't know what the fuck will happen. I don't know how I will react, because, yeah, that's gonna be insane. Like I train the front lever holds not because I'm good at them, but because I'm bad at them. At one point, I told myself 34 seconds is my limit, because I had done like 5 attempts of front lever holds over the years, and every time it was 34 seconds. And then at one point, I decided to put everything on the front lever, and I got 38. And then I continued it, and I got 42. And then I overtrained, and I got all the way back down to under 40. But yeah, point being, this front lever hold training, it might be boring to some of you, but to be honest, I don't care. I don't do training to entertain you. I mean, I'm making these videos, but it's basically just to show the progress, right? To show the process of training. And the training that gets me up is, the training that I think to myself, holy fucking shit, will I be able to do this? It's the same with the pistol squat. 75 kilos is fucking daunting. It's scary. It keeps me up at night sometimes. That's how fucking difficult it's gonna be. The same for the planche. Am I gonna be able to do 20 seconds? It's sure as hell gonna be fucking difficult. Or the Nordic curls. 20 reps, in the beginning of the year I got injured and I was able to do 0. And those are the fucking kind of goals that I really like to achieve, So if I can get 45 seconds, oh boy, I am gonna be happy. Not only because it's gonna be the first goal of this bulk checked off, but also just because, it's gonna prove to myself that I am still able to fucking go, right? That I'm able to get stronger, that I'm not at the end of the tunnel yet, that there is no end to the tunnel, right? And yeah, that's just something we'll see on Sunday, I guess. If all goes well, if the recovery goes well, on Sunday, that box will be checked off. So that's it for today's training. Yeah, I'm gonna have a shower, have some breakfast, but if you've been watching for a while, that doesn't surprise you anymore. That's always the case. So I'll see you tomorrow for a leg day. And tomorrow, some PRs on the leg day will be incoming as well. So look forward to that.